Hey gamers, Ethan Cito here on the Total War test server, and today we have NPCs. Well, before we get into NPCs, I have to tell you about another feature that's been added to the server, which is Gringotts. You can now use gold as money. So if I pick up this gold bar and then I do /bow, you'll see that I have $1 in my balance. So every gold ingot is equivalent to $1 in your balance, and you can use this with the shop signs. So instead of having to barter trade every item, you can now put a dollar amount on your shop signs and it'll trade for gold instead. And what makes it so good is that you can put down a chest and a sign and type in vault like this, and it will create a Gringotts vault, which will allow you to store your money and use it remotely. So even though the money is in here, my balance is still 10. And you'll notice it's 10 because a block of gold is equal to 9 ingots. So 1 plus 9 is 10. And then I can go around with a clear inventory, and I can go up to a shop sign and I can click it and purchase things, and the gold will be automatically transferred from my home vault into the shop of whoever I'm buying from. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about NPCs. So right now we have kind of a simple NPC system in the terms of obtaining them. Basically, each NPC costs $10, aka 10 bars of gold, and the way you do it is you type /hire and then the number of NPCs. Currently, I only have $10, so if I typed in 2, it would tell me that I don't have enough bars of gold. So right now, I'm just going to do /hire 1, and it's going to spawn one NPC somewhere nearby. And as you can see, we've got an NPC right here. And let me just de-op myself to make sure that all these commands will work with you guys. So if I grab a stick like this, I can right click my NPC in order to select it. And that's an important step before you do any commands on an NPC. You need to make sure you have it selected. And I'm going to show you how to equip your NPC with some stuff. Let me just get some gear. To equip your NPC with gear and armor and weapons and whatnot, you can do /NPC equip and then simply place all of the gear. Make sure that you put it in the right spot. If you shift click it, it might not go in the right spot. And then you can just do it again if you want to take it off. And you'll notice that the sword has gone missing. That's because the guard is not in combat right now, and so she put it in her inventory, which you can access with /NPC inventory. And in here you can put whatever you want the guard to store. If the guard dies, then it will drop all of these items on its death. Okay. You can just use /NPC follow, and the NPC will follow you. And then you can hit it again to toggle that and make it stand still. If you want the NPC to patrol an area, you can do /NPC path, and then it'll put you in a little editor, and then it will allow you to set waypoints for the NPC to walk to. So I'll give you an example. I want this NPC to patrol the area around my vault. So I'm going to put some waypoints around here, and you'll see that the NPC will walk from one waypoint to the next and then back. And then if I keep placing them around here, the more waypoints you place, the more precise the pathing will be. But as long as you put one where you want it to go and one where you want it to go back to, it'll do its best to find its way there. And now you can see that the NPC is walking in a circle around the path, and you can just do /NPC path to toggle it off. By default, your NPC is set to attack monsters. So if we set the time to night and we equip the NPC, with the gear and armor, NPC equip. And I grab a zombie. Whoa, what is that? That's strange. Must be my texture pack. Okay, if I spawn in a zombie, then the NPC will notice the zombie and pull out the sword to attack it. And there are several weapons that a guard can use. For instance, if you give the NPC a bow and some arrows, then it will use it to shoot at the zombie. With the right settings, you can set up a guard to be in a guard tower and attack any of the monsters that it can see. If you want your NPC to guard a player, you can type in /sentinel guard and the name of that player. And then, whenever the player is attacked, then all of the NPCs will immediately act to protect. As you can see, I was attacked by the zombie, and the NPCs are are making sure that the zombie will not hurt me. Uh-oh. And also, they have a limited amount of health, so you gotta be careful. Oh, by the way, because these NPCs belong to me, my attacks will not hurt them. So you might be wondering, what happens when your NPC sees a creeper and then decides to fight it and then gets blown up? Maybe you don't want your NPCs to charge into every single creeper and take damage. Well, there's actually a pretty easy fix for that. If you go into /sentinel, there are a few lists that you can set. There's add avoid, add ignore, and add target. Add target means that the NPC will target whichever thing, whichever group that you put. And there's a list of groups on the Sentinel wiki. Add ignore means that your Sentinel will not do anything related to whatever you put there. It won't approach it, it won't go away from it, it would act like it does not exist. And then there is add avoid, which means that the Sentinel will actively avoid whichever group that you put here. So if we put add avoid creeper, oh, we have to select an NPC. Let me get my handy dandy stick. If you don't have a stick, you can always do /NPC select like that. But the stick is pretty handy, so you don't have to type a lot. So we're going to try /sentinel add avoid creeper on this one, and then we're going to put down this one. And as you can see, that one is not set to avoid creepers, so it will still attack creepers and die like that. Whereas this one, if we put a creeper, it will see the creeper, and it will hit the creeper for some reason, and it will run away. Okay, so to get this to work perfectly, what I had to do is I had to remove a target group using /sentinel remove target, and I removed monster because monster is a simple group that includes all hostile mobs that the NPC will attack all of them, and so that was having conflicting behavior with the avoid creepers. But since I removed attacking monsters, it allows avoiding creepers to take full effect, and the NPC will simply run away from them. So if you want the NPCs to avoid one specific part of a larger group, it seems like you'll have to add in the targeting for all the other mobs in that group individually, such as add target zombie. So this NPC will target zombies, but it will avoid creepers. And as you can see, the NPC is set to guard me, so it is following me around while trying to avoid any creepers in the way. So yeah, your guards, you can set them up to guard bases, you can bring them with you for attacking, for fighting monsters, fighting players. Oh, that actually reminds me. You can actually set an NPC to attack players. So if we put, there's a couple options. You can use it to attack a specific player if you know who your enemies are, or you can just say players, and then it will attack any player. And that's really helpful for somewhere where you know that nobody at all should be there. And then you can add, let's see. You can do sentinel, add ignore, and then you can set an ignore list for your friends so that they will not get absolutely demolished by the NPCs. So yeah, this has been a short tutorial on how NPCs work. Obviously, there's a ton of stuff that I left out. Like, there's a lot of commands and a lot of customization to look into, but you kind of have the basics on how to hire an NPC, on how to equip it with gear, and anything really more complicated than that. I'll put the links to the wikis in the description where you can see the commands and you can see descriptions for the commands. And yeah. And pretty soon, you'll be able to have your NPCs fighting, duking it out on the server. There's a lot more weapons than I showed in this video. There's like explosions, potions, glowing arrows, that kind of stuff. So yeah, feel free to take a look at the documentation, learn a bit more about it. And I think I spawned too many zombies. All my guards died. If they had better loot like this one, then they probably would have been able to beat this army. So yeah, just remember, you gotta gear up your people, and also when they die, they will drop their gear set like that. Except for their armor. There's kind of like a programming issue where it will not drop their armor. So just keep that in mind, that if you put armor on it and it dies, that you're not going to get it back. Anyways, thank you for watching this video and learning about the wonderful new feature of NPCs and of vaults. Let's see what we can manage to do. I'm thinking that a community event would be fun, but I would need some people to help me build, you know, some structures for that. I was thinking maybe like a castle thing would be cool. And then obviously we need people to participate. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. See you later.